The diner lights flickered softly as the evening rush began. Plates clattering, coffee pouring, laughter echoing between booths. Maya, the young waitress, moved quickly from table to table, her smile warm but tired. She worked double shifts most nights just to keep her sick mother's medicine paid for. Then the door opened, and silence followed. A woman stepped in, her heels sharp against the tiles, her jewelry sparkling under the dim lights. Everyone knew her, Claudia Weston, daughter of one of the wealthiest businessmen in the city. Wherever she went, whispers followed. She didn't wait to be seated. "Table by the window," she said flatly. Maya nodded politely. "Of course, ma'am. I'll get your order started." Claudia glanced around, wrinkling her nose. "You people really call this service?" she muttered. At the back booth, a few bikers looked up. The Hells Angels, their black leather jackets standing out like thunderclouds in the soft yellow light. Ryder, their leader, watched quietly, saying nothing. When Maya returned with the water, Claudia frowned. "Excuse me," she said, tapping the glass. "This has ice." "I said no ice. Do you people not listen?" Maya apologized softly, replacing the drink. But Claudia wasn't done. "You know," she said loudly enough for everyone to hear, "if you hate your job this much, maybe try something you're actually good at." The diner went silent. Maya's cheeks flushed red, her hands shaking. I'm sorry, ma'am." "Sorry doesn't fix stupid," Claudia snapped, picking up her wine glass. And before anyone could react, she threw it. The liquid splashed across Maya's face and shirt. A few people gasped. The cook froze mid-step. Then, from the back corner, came the low scrape of a chair. Ryder stood. He walked forward slowly, every step measured, the air in the diner growing still. "Ma'am," he said quietly, "I think you just made a mistake." Claudia turned, eyebrows arched, her tone dripping with arrogance. "Excuse me? Who are you supposed to be?" Ryder stopped a few feet away, calm as ever, his leather jacket catching the low light. "Just someone who doesn't like seeing good people treated like trash," he said evenly. The room was silent except for the soft hum of the neon sign outside. Everyone watched, breath held. Claudia laughed, a cold, sharp sound. "Oh, please, don't tell me you're defending a waitress. Do you even know who my father is?" Ryder's lips twitched. "Don't care who your daddy is. What I do care about is you throwing things at someone who's just trying to make a living." Tank, the biggest of the angels, leaned back in his chair. "Sounds like Daddy's money bought her manners too," he muttered. The customers chuckled quietly, but Ryder's eyes stayed locked on Claudia. "You're gonna apologize to her," he said softly, "and then you're gonna leave." Her face reddened. "Or what? You'll hit me? Intimidate me? You think that patch on your back makes you scary?" Ryder stepped closer, his tone still low, almost gentle, the kind of quiet that made the hair on your neck rise. "No, ma'am. I think you made yourself scary when you showed that little girl what cruelty looks like. And now, I'm showing her the opposite." Maya stood frozen, tears still clinging to her lashes. Claudia tried to hold her ground, but Ryder didn't blink. The silence stretched until she finally looked away. "Fine," she said, her voice trembling. She turned to Maya. "Sorry." Ryder tilted his head slightly. "Mean it." Claudia's jaw tightened. "I'm sorry," she said again, this time quieter. Maya nodded faintly, her voice barely above a whisper. "It's okay." Ryder looked back at Claudia. "Now leave." The woman grabbed her purse, muttering under her breath, but she didn't meet his eyes again. When she stormed out, the bell above the door rang like a victory. The diner exhaled all at once. The cook grinned from behind the counter. "Never thought I'd see the day." Ryder turned to Maya. "You all right?" She nodded slowly, though her hands still shook. I didn't expect anyone to stand up for me." Ryder smiled faintly. "That's the thing about people like her. They expect silence. Don't ever give it to him." Tank stood and left $100 bill on the counter. "For the lady's cleaning bill. And maybe a new shirt." Maya laughed softly, a sound that came out half broken, half grateful. As the angels sat back down, the diner slowly returned to life, but the energy had shifted. People whispered, smiled, and glanced at Maya like they were seeing her for the first time. And in that small, worn-out diner, one act of decency had just put a crack in a mountain of arrogance. The next morning, sunlight poured through the diner windows, warm and golden, but the air felt different. The night before had changed everything. Word had spread fast. By dawn, The entire town knew about the rich woman who threw wine at a waitress and the Hell's Angels who made her apologize. Some came just to see Maya, the quiet waitress with the brave smile. Others just wanted to shake Ryder's hand, though he wasn't there. He'd vanished into the sunrise after paying the bill and leaving a small note on the counter. It read, "You didn't deserve that. Keep your chin up. The world needs your kindness more than it needs her money." Maya folded that note and kept it in her apron pocket. She couldn't stop smiling as she worked that morning. A few hours later, the diner door opened again. A delivery man stepped in with a stack of boxes. "Got a shipment here for Maya," he said, reading the label. "For me?" she asked, confused. He nodded. "Paid in full. No sender name." Inside the boxes were brand new uniforms, fresh aprons, and a sleek espresso machine, something the diner could never afford. On top was an envelope. Inside, a simple card read, "From the road. Keep serving with heart. We'll keep watching your back." The cook whistled. "Guess your angels aren't done with you yet." Maya laughed softly, tears welling in her eyes. "They never are they?" That evening, when she closed the diner, she found a small sticker by the door, the red and white emblem of the Hell's Angels, stuck neatly to the window. She touched it with her fingertips, whispering, "Thank you." Because that night, Maya learned something powerful, that strength doesn't always roar, and protection doesn't always come with a badge. Sometimes, it comes on two wheels, carrying people who may look rough on the outside but ride with hearts of gold. And far down the highway, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Ryder looked in his side mirror at the fading lights of the diner and smiled. "She'll be all right," he said quietly. Tank revved his bike beside him. "Told you she would." Ryder nodded. "Yeah, kindness like hers. That's tougher than any of us." The engines roared again, the wind carrying their sound into the night, a sound that didn't mean rebellion this time. It meant respect. If this story touched your heart, share it. Because kindness doesn't always wear a smile, and heroes don't always wear uniforms. Sometimes, they walk in covered in dust, carrying stories that could change your heart forever.